2021 was a tragic, record-breaking year in North Carolina for children's suicides and deaths, especially by gun. The state's Child Fatality Task Force got some updated numbers today for 2022. WRAL Capitol Bureau Chief Laura Leslie reports the data shows some improvement, but there's still a long way to go.
Well, the good news is early data seems to show that child suicides appear to have trended down in 2022. The bad news is that they're still much higher than they were before the pandemic. Experts blame mental health problems and the proliferation of guns. Sarah Perrone says she's scared to send her kids to school these days.
Every time you turn on the news, you hear about another shooting or another school that's had kids shot at it.
Tim Dugas says it seems like a daily occurrence.
It's pretty terrible. I feel like we're all getting into a little like like emotional fatigue.
According to the Office of the State Medical Examiner, child firearms deaths doubled between 2019 and 2021. In 2019, there were 13 child suicides by gun. 2 years later, there were 38, nearly triple. And gun homicides also jumped sharply from 39 to 68. Public health experts told the Child Fatality Task Force that's largely because there are more guns around than there used to be, and they're often not secured. Data shows guns have been the leading cause of injury, death in children in North Carolina since 2020, and the most common method of child suicide. That trended down slightly last year, but firearms were still used in more than half of all child suicide. Child advocates want stronger laws about safe gun storage to keep them out of kids' hands. So far, lawmakers haven't budged, although they did call for a publicity campaign about safe storage. In the meantime, children's mental health is still at an all-time low. According to state education officials, 1 in 5 teens reports they have seriously considered suicide, 1 in 10 has attempted it, and 1 in 10 kids has been diagnosed with anxiety or depression. There is some progress on that front. The new state budget provides funding for at least 1 more school nurse, counselor, or psychologist per school district. The state still lags far behind the recommended school staffing for mental health, but experts say it's an improvement. Laura Leslie, WRAL News, Raleigh.
And Laura just alluded to this, but one problem that remains is the availability of mental health treatment for kids. Experts told the state's Child Fatality Task Force only 3 of the state's 100 counties have enough child mental health providers to meet the need.